All right, here we are once again, for our Wake Up podcast. It's Sean and Doug. This is our podcast number 8. And this podcast is where we explore mindfulness in everyday life. Say hi, Doug. What you got going on?
I want to give you a hug.
That's okay. I don't feel like getting up.
I want to hug.
But I don't want to get up.
Okay. What's going on?
But thank you for that. I'm going to deny. I'm going to say thankfully no thank you.
I am. What's going on? I'm feeling. I don't know. Hungry. A little bit of hunger and a little bit of relief. I heard. Thinking that my roommate did not run out of here because something was wrong with her father, and so I'm guessing that she just left because she left. Had to do something. Probably running late, and. So I feel a little sense of relief and ease. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. It feels like, I don't know, although we've talked.
We missed last month's podcast.
We missed last month's podcast?
Yeah, we did.
It seems like yesterday we did
Just yesterday we did it.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm losing track of time. I've been so busy. My life has been pretty full.
Very busy.
Pretty full.
It's true. It's spring, so spring's usually pretty full. So I'm thinking that, for a check-in for me, I'm a little sad, honestly. So we talked a little bit about before coming on, but just to generally share that to our audience is not bad for me to say. Just feeling a little vulnerable, maybe. And I thought today's theme we would do a no-theme.
I like
favorite.
no theme.
But even though we're doing a no-theme theme, I kind of do have a few thoughts around what we could do with it. Well, this is based on my theming. My theming is that this podcast reflects on the previous week and, goes from there, like kind of as a what went down, what was mindful. That's kind of how I hold the whole thing. So maybe it's not a theme if I'm just glomming onto what's been on my mind this week. So that's what I want to do. And let me know when you're ready to hear what that is.
What the non-theme theme is? I'm ready.
Okay. Sorry, I'm laughing. It's funny. So I listened to a podcast this past week by a guy named David White. He's a poet from Insights at the Edge. And he's one of these people. He's a poet, philosopher person. Like I like to think of myself as artist type. And interestingly to me in the podcast was this way he spoke about God. So when asked the question, what is God or where is God? And I thought this was really freaking brilliant. Again, it's not going to land as brilliant when I say it. But I was just blown away. So, are you curious?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm sitting on the edge of the seat. What is God?
Where's God?
I'm already answering the question myself.
But you want to tell me your answer? I just have to pull this up just to be sure I get the quote right.
Well, I'm thinking of the I Am That Guy book that you turned me on to.
Yeah.
And the takeaway from that book, the 2, 4, 6, 8 pages of the 400-page book that I read, was that love is as close as you could get as a human being to the spiritual power of.
Okay, so you're landing on, when I say that, where is God? What is God? You're landing on love. Yeah.
Although and then there's also the sense of oneness.
And a sense of oneness.
From oneness.
Okay, so wait till you get blown away by this.
Yes, all right. I'm waiting. I'm listening.
This is a different answer.
Okay, what do you got?
Because that's my answer. The one you just gave, that would be mine. So here's what it is in his mind. This comes from Meister Eckhart. I think it's the 12th century theologian.
Oh, it's not the Eckhart. Not the
No,
Eckhart?
no. Meister Eckhart. Do you know who I'm talking about? Anyway.
No, Meister
12th
Eckhart.
11th, 12th century, something
Sure.
like that. Dude from back when. Theologian. Dude. God is pure absence. He's smiling. Doug's smiling now.
I don't know. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little vague. Is there more?
Yeah, there's more.
Oh, let me hear more.
That's a little vague for you? Oh my God. Talk about black hole. To me, it hits it on the head.
God is pure absence.
Yes. I love this interpretation of God.
Well,
And again, this is from the 12th century. But
well, I believe I don't think God has changed that much between the
Right.
12th century and the
Yeah,
21st,
between the Buddha and
22nd.
and Jesus
I think it's
and
the
everything.
Same God, right?
Right, it's all the same. Right. So here's a little elaboration on it, quoting David White, that you can feel that there is something missing from your life is the gravitational field. The path of grief is in following what you are missing. Now this shit hits home completely for me.
The path of grief.
Is in following what you are missing. This is what I'm always doing. That incredible absence in your life. Oh, I'm just reading myself now. Sorry. That was because I sent a text. That was it. That's it.
So can you read the whole thing from start to finish?
That you can feel that there is something missing from your life is the gravitational field. The path of grief is in following what you are missing. That incredible absence in your life. I don't know. I think
what
it's
if nothing is missing and everything is complete and it's all there?
well, yeah.
Isn't
right.
Isn't that another way of, and that this sense of I'm constantly looking, wanting something different, not accepting. That seems almost the opposite of the Siddhartha's thing of not grasping and just accepting what we have. It seems like.
Okay, well, I can elaborate on mine.
I mean, I think it's another path into the same place, but I'm not sure it's the path that I've been attempting to connect to and walk.
Well, it really rings true for my path because, what was the first part that it's the absence of what was that? I didn't reread that quote. The
I don't know why.
absence of
Pure absence.
pure absence. Pure absence. Okay, so
Pure nothingness.
yeah, I think that it taps into this idea of, well, I'll talk about me in a second, but in a general population, I think we're humans walking around with this angst, existential angst, and it relates to that pure absence. Death, what is it?
The end of the body.
The pure absence. So, see, God is in the pure absence because it's an existential. It's like but the fact that the journey is in trying to complete that absence in us, I think is what drives, is the driving force, is the passion of being alive. So for me, for sure. So for me, it's in this concept of soulmate, a partner. So I'm driven by the absence of that and the grief, the pit of incredible grief, came from being kicked out of Eden with my ex into this abyss. And that's been the journey ever since. Just coming out of that is trying to be in this world, satisfied, like you're saying, with what we are, what is here for us. And whatever we're encountering is the path. So in my case, the girlfriend I have at the moment and what I'm doing in that journey. To connect, to find that connection, exploring that missing connection, right? I'm getting closer and closer. Kind of falling on, what I had, the thing that I mourned, that I lost, that belonging. For me, it's love is belonging. Am I putting you to sleep?
No, I'm struggling with some things. I'm not sure what. Continue.
So that's it. That's the journey. So to me, it was validating to hear that podcast this week because it validates my motivation, where what drives me, like, yeah.
It seems to me to validate does it validate your grasping and wanting things to be other than they are?
It validates it in the way that then again lets you let it go. You see,
No,
right?
I don't see.
Oh, you don't see
But
that.
if it does that for you, if you see, that's all that matters.
Oh God, no! It doesn't validate. No, why would it validate the grasping? Why would you even think that? I don't
Well-
understand why you think it validates the grasping.
The second part does. Around about following to getting things that you don't have.
Well, look,
Pursuing what you don't have versus accepting that you don't have it.
yeah. So it's
And
really
being okay with
it's about accepting that you don't have it because knowing that it's this abyss, this black hole, this emptiness. Knowing that it's the emptiness is God and the God state is the emptiness, you're going toward the emptiness. You're going toward accepting the emptiness. It's all about accepting what is. And so we run from the emptiness like a little hamster in a hamster wheel by being a workaholic, by drinking, by eating too much, whatever it is, watching Netflix, all the things. We are running from that existential angst, that feeling of emptiness that nobody wants to feel. But it's also driving, that emptiness is also driving what I'm wanting to experience in this lifetime. Like that, why I'm here.
You're wanting
why
to
we're doing the
experience-
podcast.
You're wanting to experience the emptiness, or you're wanting to experience
The opposite.
the connected.
Yes, the bliss, the connection. That's driving it. The driver is the bliss, the soulmate, the connection. It's like an aha moment for me. It's like it is God. It can be described as love, like you said. God is love. It's the same thing, but it just put in this way with this thing about the abyss really rings true because it's driving everything that I'm doing, like wanting to find that connection, finding connection, being love, experiencing being love.
So can I ramble for a minute?
Absolutely.
So this is not clear for me, but I've spent the last couple days in Bethesda in my quote basement abode. I don't know if I'd call it home, and I definitely have the inclination there to binge Netflix. I think it was Hulu this last couple weeks, and I finished that series that I was binging, which was overly violent, and I then was stuck with just okay. What do I do? I struggle to read. Do I want to start a new series? And then noticing that I'm struggling to be present with nothingness, or as you might put it. And I even thought about, well, maybe sitting might be something that might be more satisfying. And attempting to be more present, or wanting to connect with, go to my other residence, where I have a roommate.
Which is where we are now, right?
Right.
Yeah, this lovely home.
This is
Studio.
lovely here. Much more pleasant in many ways than the basement abode that is my space.
Mm-hmm. This is a lovely space.
This is beautiful. It became clear to me the last 24 hours, when I finished it, my difficulty being present with myself in the nothingness and to go towards that, or how I want to fill my brain with, doing stupid stuff on the phone or playing a game or binging something, or I want to fill the void. And It was hard not to have some judgments on myself. It was hard to even be productive, clean and organized.
Uh-huh.
But all of that was in front of me, the emptiness, the nothing, my wanting to fill it with crap, to work hard or something.
So here's what I practice, what the practice is, or what the idea of the practice is to fill it mindfully with the crap of everyday life.
Right.
So whether that be taking a walk, doing the dishes, vacuuming, as the Buddha says, as they say in Zen, the stuff, like,
yes,
it's just a mindfulness of being the present, the more presencing of presence, and the more we presence, the more alive.
No, stop! I can't. Presence in the one sentence. Give me I can't follow that. That's too.
Then the more alive, supposedly, that drills into a deeper aliveness. The more.
Did I tell you about the experience? I think I told you about the experience I had at the Zen Buddhist temple in Durham. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It was a work period. I think it may have been a 1-day retreat or so. I don't remember. But I was doing a work period, and it was for a certain period of time. We were laying a path in the ground, laying stone and all that, and trying to figure out problems and making a turn with the path, and it was very pleasant. And we wanted to get a few more stones laid and whatever, and the nun who was, I don't know, calling her a nun, I don't know, was sort of helping lead the retreat, came over and said, okay, work period's over, we need to stop. And I was like, well, we're almost complete. I just want to finish this. And she was like, I don't know what her language was, but what I heard her say, it was, no, we stop now. It doesn't matter anyway. Well, it's like,
how scary is that?
And it was, and I was
it
at
doesn't
the time,
matter anyway.
And at the time, I was like, I wanted to get it done and really contribute and complete and make a difference. And it's like, no, we work for a work period and then we stop, and it's not. Well, you think it makes a difference? I mean, what are you talking about? This is just
it makes a difference. It's gonna be nice walking down that path.
And that's come back to me quite a few times in the last.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really very powerful.
Well,
more power. It stayed with me.
Yeah, so that's my being with the beingness of it all.
Yeah.
Well, yes, productivity is so satisfying. It just really is. It's really one of the most satisfying things. And I don't do enough of it myself, let me tell you.
I have a guided meditation in one of my favorite books. I should show it to you. And anyway, the guided meditation goes back hundreds of years in the meditation.
Okay.
And then you slowly come back to the present, and then you go forward hundreds of thousands of years.
So this is like a past lives meditation.
Good
God, send it to me, Doug.
It's in a book.
Well, if it's hundreds of years, that's past life shit.
It goes back thousands of years. It's not past. It's about. It's not
more
about,
just fantasizing.
It's about what matters, and does it really make a difference? Do you really think it makes a difference if you finish that stone path to 10,000 years from now?
I want this meditation. I might need it for next week's meditation that you're going to be coming to.
It would take a half hour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean,
you
could.
No,
I
know what I'm doing. No, we're doing feelings next week. So anyway, sorry, I'm referencing a class that I'm in, guys. I'm in a teacher training. Our audience, I don't want to leave you out. Okay, but anyway, I'd like that in my arsenal. Please send it to me. And so, do you want to know what his big? This dude, he's written so many books, and the next one's going to be like his 7 points of how to get. He does. These people, they all do. They make big bucks. Helping corporations figure themselves out.
Is
right?
this the artist guy?
Yeah, this guy. Yes, white guy. This guy, David White, the poet.
Is he
philosopher.
white?
He's Irish.
He's
white Irish, so very
white male. I assume they have.
Yeah, white male Irish.
I assume they have dark skinned people in Ireland, even though
what
it's
this
not
dude's
classic.
called? I don't. He's a white dude. Yes,
Yeah,
he's a typical white dude. Irishmen, though, typical Irishmen. They're very emotional, kind of angsty people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Can we pause for just a second?
Yes, we're gonna pause for just a second. we go.
Thank you for pausing. My roommate came back, and so I updated. I was a little worried about them not being here, and although they had told me that is an interesting story. I'd be willing to tell it later.
Or just right now, just that Doug.
So I was angry at my roommate not being here when I got here because I had said I'm coming, and we had talked about it. And sometimes they forget things that I tell them that we're doing. And then I got here, and the coffee pot was hot and not drank. It's a plunger type. What do you call it? And the plunger had not gone down to. And I was like, wow, they ran out of here at the last minute real quick. I hope their father's okay, because their father is 96. And so I called my roommate and texted them, and no answer. And so after a while, I even called their brother, who would have been the first to hear if there was something. And the brother said, no, Dad's fine, no big deal. So then I relaxed. So my roommate just came in. And so then I went back to being angry at them and for going out without telling me. And then they came in, and where were they? They were right where they always are Friday at this time.
And Doug had forgotten.
And I had forgotten where they went and what they did. And I was angry at them because I thought they had forgotten.
But Doug had forgotten.
But
So I called that projecting.
Projecting.
I want stuff on there, your shit on them, and they always forget. Who's the forgetter now, Doug? Rewind the camera back.
Well, one finger pointed at them for forgetting, and then there's three fingers pointed back at me, telling me that I forgot.
Correctamundo. Yeah, you love that one. That's a good one. That's a good reminder, people.
Yeah. So anyway. So I interrupted you. You were talking about
the stories.
This
the
David
stories.
White guy,
who
does stuff for corporations,
and his new book is going to have like 7 great ways of whatever cut to the quick of this stuff. So the only one that I remember hearing or that stuck with me was we've heard this many times, but I forget the way he worded it. But it was just like you just drop the story, right? In so many words, whatever it is. So I have this repeated theme I'm always struggling with of belonging, love and belonging. And he's just saying, just drop it. And then when you drop it, you're deepening the conversations. So when deepening the conversations with each other and with yourself, we're opening the onion. We're getting deeper into our lives and so to get deeper, you drop it. You just drop it.
So that resonates for me.
Okay. Like you had to drop it about your roommate. Like in the moments there, you had to be like, oh, and drop. Oh.
Well.
The story. Oh.
Drop the story. So what resonates for me is in the NVC practice that I really like when it goes deep. It's you just do, and that's what I'll do a plug for a book called the On-Go book, which I think is the best combination of meditation and nonviolent communication I've ever come across. I think it's amazing.
Okay. How come I don't have this book?
I don't know why you don't have it. I've talked about getting a group together to do it.
Yeah.
And my point being that they are very big at not telling the story. Just do a feelings needs guess, or just do the needs guess. And connecting with the feelings and the needs in any given moment is where the juice is, in terms of language anyway, versus the story. And that sometimes...
Yeah, so you want me to give you an example of this? Should I go back to last night? Should I talk about last night, or do you think it's not a good thing to do?
Knowing
the whole story.
If you could tell it without this, can I tell the story of last night? I think that might be.
I'll let you try, but are you trying to say that I shouldn't say?
I don't know what you shouldn't say, but no, I think you could say that.
Okay, so trying to read my lips here. I go. We read each other's minds sometimes, like an old married couple. Not really.
You went through let's see if I got it.
You were going to massage my feet, by the way. When's that happening?
Would you?
That would be very distracting. You wouldn't be able to talk, would you?
Actually, it would be hard to be present with connecting
So we won't do
verbally
that.
with
Yeah,
you
so, no, we're not
and
doing that.
staying present.
No, I just thought I
Because
would
that
enjoy
would-
that. But no, that's fine.
Yeah, I will. I'm open to doing that,
Okay. Not now.
but not now. Thank you.
I'd take that over a hug.
The important part of the story
Uh-huh.
is that what were you feeling and needing last night?
I know, but we're a podcast and radio. You can't have life without story. Well, people don't want to hear just abstractions. We've been abstracting for half an hour now already. Story is where the meat and potatoes hits the road. I'm sorry. It just is. This is a podcast about life, and we need to share life.
I told a story about coming back here and being angry at my roommate. And
Yeah, so let me tell the story so they have a
Okay,
little background.
go ahead.
Even though I know you're saying drop the story, we're saying
You're
drop the story.
saying that, yes.
Yes, and you were saying the NBC feelings and needs.
Yeah.
But without a context, how can people relate to what the hell we're saying? I just don't see it.
It's not something you see; it's something you feel.
Oh,
an
just
experience.
relating to the story? Without the story? Just relating to the abstractions? I think.
Relating to the energy of the feeling for you, of desolation and lostness, and
Well, I think we've been talking for half an hour, and I don't know that I have felt that people are going to feel that. Honestly, I'm judging myself right now, thinking the first half has been kind of dull, tell you honestly. That's what's going on in my mind right now.
well, we can listen. You can listen to
We
it when it's
will.
done. But
Mhm.
I think it's not one of our best. But I definitely think it's not the but one. But it's definitely one of our better. This is, I think, been one of our better conversations.
Okay, well, I just want to...
But I could be wrong. And I
Right,
could
we
be
don't
wrong.
know. We don't know what lands really
Right.
until we listen or somebody tells us that it's something. But, and we're not going to put a lot of attention or care into that because we're just.
What's
doing
the
our
story? Get to the story.
thing. Oh, the story is, last night having a need to waking up in the middle of the night and really, really missing my girlfriend, who I only get to see once a week. I'm going to say that. I'm going to give you a little background. Whom I adore. I'm getting to know more and more and more. It's coming up on a year. I think the fact that it's coming up on a year is pushing some triggers in me. This is my story. This is what I'm kind of noticing. Because I have story around what it should look like, how it should be, and I'm constantly dropping that. That's the work for the past 11 months now, going on 11 months. Excuse me. I got some pollen or something from this spring stuck in my chest. Is just a letting go of how it is. And it's hard for me because I don't want to have two girlfriends, but it's hard just seeing this person once a week. So last night I woke up in the middle of the night. I had already slept a good 6 hours, so usually I sleep 8 hours. But I took a bath because I hadn't gotten around to that. I had a hard work day yesterday and it was feeling very schmarmy. So I knew that would relax me. And then I just got to be in my bonnet. Like the thought, I just want to see if I can go take some action and go be with my girlfriend, who's quite busy, leads an incredibly busy life.
Beloved. Your beloved.
My beloved. And it's a shot in the dark. But for me, so I got dressed, I shot a few texts her way, knowing she'd be waking up to do her exercise in about 4:45 in the morning. And at this point, so I'm leaving the house around 4:20, 4:30, something like that, to get to her house an hour away. So I was willing to take a drive in the middle of the night. I laid back on the couch and said, "Oh, this is a crapshoot. It's probably not going to end up the way I want it." But being able
And
to
the
see
way you want it would have been she come on in, gives you a hug, and
Yeah.
you sit down somewhere
before
and
coming here today.
and
Yeah, spend some
cuddle
time.
for a minute and
yeah.
just chit chat or not, and just cuddle
just
for,
be with each other.
for 15 to 30 minutes,
Or whatever.
and then
yeah.
she gets on and goes on with her day, and you get up and make coffee and leave.
Whatever. Yeah, something
Like that.
something to that effect.
You had some image of what you would have
Sure,
liked.
sure.
And it would have been something like what
Just
I
a
said.
connection. Yeah, I made it clear it's not, for any hanky-panky, but just for a connection. So just on the drive, I just was really, I got in touch with the sadness,
sadness of not having.
I guess the truth is when she texted me, so she did wake up. I got about halfway there. I got more in touch with the emotional state when I was denied. Grant you that.
She said, "Don't come."
Yeah. No. Yes. She said.
I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm busy. Yeah.
Don't come.
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's a lovely idea. It's not going to work. So
she said
I
it's
knew
a
that.
lovely idea, but it's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's
She's,
kind. Is that
she's
kind?
very validating and loving, and I adore her for it. Yes. there's
Okay,
no
so
doubt.
that was sweet. Okay.
Absolutely. But
Okay.
I turned around, I drove back. I mean, I knew. But in that journey of driving in the darkness and just listening to my own thoughts, I wasn't listening to anything. Just processing the needs and the feelings. And it just hit me, the sadness hit me, but then the need hit me that I just had a need. I don't know if there's a need, but a need to take action. What need would NBC that be? I needed to do something to fulfill my own needs. So, and I knew that it was a crapshoot, and just
You needed to move. How does it feel if I say you needed to really move your body and move it in a direction that might bring you some hope, and you had some hope of connection, physical connection with your partner.
yeah.
And
It leads me back to
and the very driving and being with your thoughts at that time of the day. I'm guessing there were not many cars on the road. They were blinking. There were not many red lights, and that things just
kind of
flowed.
eerie.
And it was kind of pleasant to be out and about and moving in your thoughts.
And then just getting in touch with the abyss, the search for that connection, the passion
search for being valued and
Yeah, so so it's driving
search for
me.
meaning in life.
Right, is the meaning and connection and belonging, and then turning around and going back home to the aloneness. I'm sort of tearing up saying it now, like just being in that feeling of, this is it. This is my life. My life has a lot of this aloneness in it, and I don't like it. It makes me sad. I'm sad because I feel I don't feel the agency, and again, like, the agency was the need, was the drive. Yeah, was for the agency. Yeah.
And was your need for agency met by your getting into the car and driving, even though you didn't get there? Was your need for that feels satisfying and pleasant, and to have been driven? My guess is you drove for an hour plus each, round trip.
No, I drove halfway, so I drove an hour. So it was a nice. I love driving and driving and just being in that space and just noticing my emotional state. So just noticing the need for that and the need for agency and the sadness over, and then the love and the connection. Like, oh well, this is it. This is it. It just boils down to this simple thing of, this is it. This is the story. Drop it. You'll, at some point, the sadness is the story again. The story comes up. The sadness of the story is, I'm going to need another person to fill this time. That's the fucking story.
The story is that
I don't want another
you're
person.
going to need.
I want this person to be the one.
That your need for companionship
is not going to be met by this
partnership.
person. Yeah.
And that you just want more.
And then trust came up. Like, so my words of the year, the New Year words for me were trust. Was curiosity. When this shit comes up, just be very curious. Trust and harmony. Yesterday, when I was in the pits of the despair of it, I couldn't even think of the third word, which is the harmony, because I couldn't get to it. But on the drive back, I was getting to all of it. The harmony, the trust. Like, when the trust came up, I just started crying again, because it's like, no, I don't trust. There's a part of me that does not trust that this woman adores me equally and that has the same needs. I don't think she has the same needs, which is why I'm alone all the time. If she had the same needs, she'd make space, and and she's got an incredibly busy life. I know I'm important to her, but that's my story. We have different, she's a workaholic. I'm not. I'm the opposite.
Okay, I think you
shared enough.
Yeah, you want. Yeah, so what I heard is just you labeled your partner as a workaholic, and this and that's not going to work, and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how that how that part of the story adds to
It
what
doesn't.
you wanted to share, and that
It
might,
takes it away. It shows how
and
the
that
mind
might
works.
and that might
Yeah.
want to that might want to go to the editing room floor.
Okay.
You might, I'm just saying. But, you can think about it. The other part of the story, I think, works fine. And it was communicative, and I got an image. But there's a sense of
Well, that's where we get stuck in the looping.
yeah. I assume you're looking at how much time?
Yeah.
Is it possible that what you want, what I'm hearing you say is that you're thinking that you might have to get another partner to fill the quote emptiness, nothingness, loneliness, and what I'm wondering is, can you sink into that and fill that yourself, or be okay with it? Isn't that what David White's talking about?
Well, he's
God?
married. He has a wife. No, we are
So
all driven
he's,
by.
he's
No, we're
married with a wife and kids and
I
a
don't
full
know.
life and
yeah, and touring and all the things. Sure, I'm always sinking into that, Doug. But the committed relationship thing is the thing for me. It is the thing. that's
doesn't
driving
mean
me.
that it okay.
It is the abyss. It is the thing. It is the thing that's driving me. Is that connection and that belonging. So
And is that a belief that is that the only way? Is that the only way to be happiness and go through this thing we call life as a human?
pretty much, yeah.
So what do people who marry the church? No, what
They're
about
in polyamorous relationships. This is what people do now. Non-monogamous.
none? I mean, priests are in polyamorous relationships
They
with God.
they love God in the world. That's not me. I'm not going to be. I would have fallen into that.
Can you
Long
fall
ago.
in love with the loneliness, the emptiness, the spaciousness?
No, because
The
that can't
nothingness?
give you anything back.
Wow, the cat never comes out unless it's Dana. I wonder if the kid, that you're being honored.
I'm like a god. Yeah, I'm a god figure.
Oh, well, actually,
Scared her away now.
she
saying
may
that.
have realized you're not Dana, and now she's leaving. Oops,
Oh, there she
mentioned
is. Spoke too soon.
me. Yeah,
And my
Yeah.
egomaniacalness spoke too
yeah,
soon.
she smelled.
Yeah, what? No, Doug, I don't know. That's the conundrum. Yeah, that's it. In relationships, you can be all those things too. Sure, like in so many people in relationships are not those. They're not happy. It's never. They're still feeling that angst and that loneliness, and all that, and control and blah blah blah. They're in relationships and they're feeling that. My goal is to be in relationship, and just really bringing the best of me forward in that relationship, in an intimate sexual relationship.
Intimate sexual
Yes,
relationship.
with a partner. Yeah,
If the sex isn't there, is it?
that's the most intimate thing to me. There's no more intimacy than sharing our bodies on this earth as a living human, and I want the full experience of being human, and that's what I am
Can you
motivated by.
have that sense of deep intimacy without the sexual touch?
Nope.
Poor baby.
Well, I can.
That's just a judgment on my part.
I know, Doug. You know what I'm saying. I have.
Do you know what I'm saying?
What are you saying? Of course, I get it through my friends and other people. I'm getting it everywhere.
Yeah, but
But I'm not getting that, which is to me the deepest, and that's just that's me. That's
that's what I'm saying. Poor baby.
Why is it poor baby? I have an incredible lover. So why are you saying poor baby?
Yeah, you
I'm
do,
getting
you
it.
do. Yeah, you are getting it.
I'm just not getting as much as I would want to get it. But
Jeez. What I'm judging, it's a judgment statement, and I sort of apologize. I'm labeling it that as an apology. But the judgment is, I think there might be a way of getting the same sense of ultimate bliss and connection to the God life experience without the sexual contact.
no. I'm looking for connection, the deepest connections, and you can't have the deepest connections without the deepest connections. You know, that's my experience of being alive. And I, you know, as they say, ehipassiko in the Buddhist. Ehipassiko in the Buddhist tradition is, come see for yourself. So it's not a religion where they're saying, this is the doctrine, this is what you do, this is the truth. You say, you find the truth for yourself. Ehipassiko. And that's Pali for that. And that's what it is for me. And I know that...
Poly is in polyamory?
So in my heart, Doug, it is met through that connection. And I'm deepening it with this woman.
I understand.
And it's deeper than it was with my ex. And my ex was pretty satisfying.
And what I'm suggesting is there may be another plane. And
sure.
Another
there's nirvana. You can meditate.
And there may
go
be,
to nirvana.
There may be another deeper way of having that kind of connective experience that does
with
not
involve
Woohoo. Sexual touch.
Oh, Doug, why are we arguing this?
I don't know if we are. I don't know.
It's godlike to me. That's where it is. That's where God is in that merging. Doug, it's look at nature. It's the birds and the bees, man. Come on. That's what it is for me. As I told you, ehipassiko. This is my experience of life.
And what I'm suggesting is that there may be some other experiences that you're not, because you're wedded to this belief and this way of being, are you cutting off other possibilities? Other ways of reaching that plateau?
I don't think that I am.
Of course.
Because
what you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, but
what you haven't experienced, you haven't experienced. How could you know?
What are you pointing to? What exactly are you pointing to that I'm not doing? Because I do have a practice of gratefulness and finding joy and beauty in life every day and every encounter, you know, and noticing it. And I have done, you know, this is what I do. This is my practice. I don't know what else. It's like, this is where I land. I don't know any other way.
Right. You don't know any other way.
I mean, except for becoming a monk.
Does that mean there is no other way?
No, there's a million. It's different ways for everyone. I would never even proclaim on this podcast that anybody should do what I'm doing, or, you know, that I have anything to say, that I even know anything about it. I'm just telling you from my experience what it is for me.
Right.
That's all I'm doing.
As far as what you know and have experienced.
Yeah, it just works for me. I would never say this works for others. Sorry, I'm getting excited and loud. This part scares me because it scares the person that I love. That's another story.
And I didn't notice that you were getting
excited and loud.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because I'm being defensive. Because, Doug, you're saying...
Oh, really?
There's a defensiveness there. Yes.
Oh.
You can't hear that? So that's...
I hadn't heard it until you pointed it out.
Again, that's where
I thought we were discussing and having fun with it.
We are.
Except I'm thinking when I get defensive, it doesn't feel like fun. It feels painful when I get defensive. I was defensive in therapy quite a bit yesterday with my son.
Well, it points to something. To me, it's not.
Yes, it did.
To me, it's aliveness, and it just points to things. Anger does that.
Learning edge for me.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't judge those things. I feel.
Yeah, it's not. I don't find them fun, but it does point to something that of value. Yes.
I guess I'm weird that way. I find these things actually all good. Like
probably not the only way. You're a little weird, but we won't go into that.
Yeah. So anyway, what were we saying? Anything significant? I don't know.
No, I feel like I feel I'm complete with that.
Yeah. So, are we winding down here now? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what else to say
today.
I think we should probably say nothing for another 10 minutes, since that's what David White called the ultimate, right? we should have a podcast with nothing hi folks.
Yeah, that's why I'm driving around.
We're going to be quiet.
Yeah, that's why I'm driving around today, and last night is my new thing. Instead of listening, I'm always listening to music, and now, as of last night and today, I'm like listening to myself. So I'm not spinning away by listening to podcasts or music.
That's very cool.
So that's facing the David White, just drop it. drop the story, but you don't. There it is. There it is. There.
I
it
do
is.
value that. No, that I mean,
Pops in,
I
pops
don't. Dropping the story resonates for me.
So I just got to drop the story of not belonging and not trusting and just dropping it. Drop the mic. Just drop it. Just drop right in to the present moment and be grateful for what I do have. Basically,
It's so interesting the way the story influences us.
the tears come as soon as I think it. It's
Yeah.
just yeah.
Right. Well, so the example I gave about coming here and being angry at my roommate because they weren't here when I said I would be here, then coming to the story, oh, maybe something panic had happened to her dad, and I was concerned about her, and my feelings and concern just shifted. And then when I came to the conclusion that her dad was fine and she just wasn't here, I was angry at her for not remembering I was coming. And blah, 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 blah. And then the truth is she did remember, but I forgot that she always does something on Fridays between this hour and that hour. And how when I have the story, it just influences how I feel and relate. Does that make sense what I said?
Oh, of course, yes. You're
It's so
what we did,
interesting how the story influences us. And if I just drop the story and go, oh, I really wanted to see them, that's really what mattered.
Yeah.
Through all those stories, it's like I really was hoping and looking forward to connecting to them because I hadn't seen them for a while, and that's really what mattered. And
It was nice to see you drop the story when you were calling her relatives and finding out.
I was on a different story then.
I know, and I was observing that. Then you said, "Oh no, I'm fine. I'm dropping it. It's good. I'm going to just trust."
I dropped that story.
Like you just all of a sudden fell into trusting.
Said I'm going to go back to being angry at her.
Oh, that's right.
I said I'm going to go back to being angry at her.
Because it feels good.
Yeah, I don't want to be angry.
No,
yeah.
Anger feels good.
Yeah, oh God, and I struggle with
yeah.
anger. Yeah, the anger does feel good.
It feels really good.
Yeah. All based on the story. But was I angry at myself for forgetting? A little bit.
Just a teeny weeny bit.
Very slow.
Very slightly.
Yeah.
Ever so very, very slightly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we're just going to wind down a little early. We'll just do the podcast that way. I'm going to see if I can find this poem. We're going to do the meta. We're going to do the meta practice, which is like how I like to end this podcast, and then with a poem at the very, very end.
Which comes first, the meta and then the poem, or the poem and then the meta?
I think the meta and then the poem.
Okay.
I like to leave them with the poem instead of the meta, but
so the meta would be: may we be free from suffering.
May we be
safe from harm.
Safe from harm.
Take care of ourselves with gentle, loving ease.
I'm trying to find this thing and I can't find it. Here we go. Take care of ourselves with gentle, loving ease.
And most of them, ones I know, do 4, but I just like those 3 enough. I've stopped doing the 4th one. I don't like the 4th. But if you have a 4th
well,
one,
I like to do meta like this. I like to give it to myself first.
Yeah.
So I like to say, hey, what would I love to hear right now? What would my biggest self, a godlike self, the abyss, say to me right now if I wanted to hear anything I wanted to hear? And my answer, slightly tearing up, is something like, yeah, I belong. I'm adored. I am someone's beloved, and they will want to rock my world until I die at 110 or 20.
Now we know what rock your world means. Having listened to the podcast.
I'm just telling myself what I want to hear, Doug.
I know.
I'm giving myself some meta love and kindness shit.
I like it.
All right, like I'm unconditionally loved for everything I am and everything I'm not, and I'm perfect this way, and there is nothing missing from me. I am whole and complete, and I just also am visualizing this loving person kind of just hugging me, which is what I wanted this morning when I wanted it in real life. Okay, and just feel her giving that to me, passing between our hearts, back and forth, it's just a merging feeling. And then there was some really good ones that I stumbled on, and of course I don't have it in front of me right now, that I did for my meditation group this week, my teacher training, which was something like, may we bring where there's darkness, maybe we bring light, or where there is fear, may we bring courage. Where there is weakness, may we bring strength, and these kinds of things. So those were some good metas for me. And then we finish it with, may all beings find ease and comfort and well-being. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings have their heart's desires. Got to throw that in there. I don't know. Was that good, Doug, for a minute?
Yeah, that was good. That was great, actually. In fact, I think you could stop there without a poem.
Well, we're doing the poem because this is my
let's do
thing.
the poem.
And the poem is a long one, so get ready, folks.
I'm not a fan of long.
I know, but here we go. I did this.
Okay.
You missed it because I did this one for our last, for my last group this week. It's called "She Let Go" by somebody named Sapphire Rose. She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of fear. She let go of judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all the memories that held her back. She let go of all the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her daytimer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew her, and the sun blew her, and the sun and the moon shone forever. That was a long one, but that's it, folks. We're signing off, so we do it again next time. This was our 8th podcast. 8 is infinity if you're into numbers. Any last words, Doug?
No. Yes.
Okay. You got a poem? What do you got?
Yes was my last word.
Yes. Doug says yes. Signing off, guys. Till next time. We love ya. Bye.